Under the Radar, bringing movies and people together, one frame at a time. Hey guys, I'm Randy Unger, and this is another episode of Under the Radar, bringing movies and people together, one frame at a time. And this is actually the final Tribeca Festival interview I'm conducting for the year. And what a full house we have tonight. This is amazing. This is the wonderful cast and crew of the short film Dirty Towel, which premiered at the festival just a few weeks ago. And I just want to welcome all of you guys. We've got director, producer, co-writer Callie Carpenteri. We've got lead actress playing Charlie, co-writer and producer Emma Parks. We also have Cassidy Campbell, producer. Laura Coover, actress who plays Elizabeth in the film. And lastly, Jesse Rojas, editor extraordinaire. So ladies, I want to welcome you. Thank you so much for taking the time today.
Thank you.
Thanks for having us.
Yeah. So I saw the film last night. It is 12 minutes, and I wanted so much more. It was a really interesting subject matter. A young woman whose mother, played by Laura, basically is, I wouldn't say brainwashing, but she's definitely scaring her daughter straight about having sex and the effects that will have on her life. And yeah, it's a very strong film, but it's also very funny. So it's got a great balance of drama and comedy. So it is a true dramedy. And I want to thank everyone here for bringing it to life. Again, I wish it was a lot longer than 12 minutes. But yeah, Dirty Towel. Tell me, everybody, I want to know how you all got involved with this. Callie, you go ahead. Go first.
Cool. So first of all, thank you for your kind words on the film. That really means a lot. So this is an idea that was kind of created back in March of last year between Emma and I. She came to visit me in LA, and we kind of just started talking a lot about, our experiences and just kind of the whole social stigma regarding women's sexual choices, and how everybody kind of feels like they have a say over what women can do with their body. And she had heard from a friend this metaphor that her mom had taught her friend of, the dirty towel. And once we heard the metaphor, and just through these conversations and through talking to other women, just realized that we really wanted to make a film that, kind of tried to change the narrative and remind people that, their choices are their choices, regardless of what anyone else has to say about them. And so from there, we decided to write it together. I've always had a love for directing. Emma's always had a love for acting. So we kind of fell naturally into those roles. And from there, it was, okay, now that we have this idea and we're writing the script, how are we going to bring the team together to make it? And, let everybody speak for how they got involved. But I'm really grateful for everybody who came on board for this project.
Yeah, that's awesome. And I could really tell you were passionate about this project. And yeah, just a great story. Emma, you are the lead actress in this production. What was it like, jumping on board? What was it like getting involved? What was your experience like?
I mean, it was honestly just from start to finish one of the most incredible experiences I've ever had on a film. I think, we were really, really lucky to have such an incredible team behind us, and a team who, as you kind of mentioned, like believed in this project and was so passionate about it. And it was really important to us that, it is a female driven story. And so we wanted to try and give as many opportunities to female, both in front of and behind the camera. And, for me personally, and I'm sure Laura can speak to this too, it was really cathartic experience being on set, working through emotions that I know I've experienced myself through the character Charlie, but then also knowing that all these other women on set were there with us and understood the feelings and cared so deeply about making sure it was honest and real. And I think that was just a really special experience that you don't get often. So it was really, really incredible. And I'm so grateful.
Nice. That's awesome. And I just thought of this. This would be a perfect film to just show young girls, I mean, to just tell them, to warn them about the possibilities, but at the same time, do not be afraid of making choices. Just be safe about it, be smart about it. So I think that's what this film really hits on, which is really special. Laura, how did you get involved?
I have a mutual friend with Emma who introduced me during the casting process, and I auditioned, and I think I just really lucked out big time. So, yeah.
No, we lucked out. Literally, we did.
Aw.
So
She
amazing.
was great. She was
Yeah,
great.
That's
it's
so
been wonderful. And just to tag on to what Emma was saying, I thought that this set experience was really special to me.
Mhm. And yeah. No, so
Just that I don't think that I'd been on a set that was mostly females, and particularly taking into consideration the subject matter and how sensitive and vulnerable folks had to be. It felt great to have that sense of support and the sort of egolessness, the lack of hierarchy, just a really collaborative environment where we could all do our best work.
And so how important is that to just be in an environment, in a work environment, which is predominantly female? Does that change things a bit if you're used to maybe a more male dominated set?
I'll just say for me, and I don't want to, rag on men directors. I mean, I've had wonderful experiences with all genders. So I just think it's an interesting correlation that the vibe was so good. And I don't know, there's just something very different about the experience that is kind of hard to put your finger on or explain, but it's just, I had a sense of safety and support. And also I was the oldest person there by a good, probably a decade and a half. I don't know, but I felt like I grew so much and learned so much. So yeah, it's a very, very special experience it's very near to my heart, dear to my heart.
And I'm sure everybody else learned from you, Laura. So
Oh.
I'm almost positive it was a mutual appreciation and education. Cassidy, you are producer on this wonderful film. What was it like bringing this story to life for you?
It was absolutely amazing. It was my first time getting to work with Callie. We went to university together, but we never actually collaborated there. We just crossed paths. So as soon as Callie asked me to be part of this film, I was just fully on board. I also have not worked on many sets where it's predominantly women. So that was just like a point that interested me right off the bat. And it was just such a lovely experience.
I love it. I could just feel the collaboration and the energy in this Zoom call right now. It's great. And Jesse, you were the editor on this, and even though it's a short film, were there any challenges in piecing this all together?
Yeah. So Callie and I actually we went to the same university, but we graduated very different years. So I've been out here for a while, and then we kind of had a mutual professor that was like, hey, I have this student. She graduated not too long ago. She's looking for an editor. I think you'd be great for this. So I honestly immediately fell in love once I read the script. I was like, and then I called her and I was like, okay, we're going to make this work. This is what we're going to do. This is how we're going to do it. We're going to put this together. It's going to be okay. So, I was really, really impressed just getting the dailies right away, kind of just how they were able to pull this all together, and especially Callie just finishing school. And I tell Callie this all the time. It's we didn't go to this fancy film school, we have pseudo journalism degrees, from the University of Florida. So it was kind of in that way, there were things that, when you're on bigger productions, okay, there's camera audio. There was no camera audio. And I was like, you guys have to make sure. Luckily, everything was jam synced. But yeah, I mean, the challenges I had were all the types of challenges you want to have as an editor, right? You want to have choices. You want to have all your nuances and your performances, and you want to have a director who's willing to, go on these different paths and journeys with you on these different ways we can lean one way or the other. And it's funny you talked about the drama versus the comedy. That was something we really worked on. Every single cut, it was intensely motivated and massaged and meditated on of how much are we adding? Is this going to add more drama, or is this going to add more comedy? Or is this we were constantly pushing and pulling that line. So I'm really glad we kind of landed in a place where, everyone kind of picked up on all those little sprinkles of things that we were constantly weaving in and out of.
Nice. And now, is there a secret? Is there a secret to basically balancing the comedy and the drama? How easy or how hard is that in a script and in performance to basically toe the line and make sure you have equal doses of each genre? Callie.
Yeah, that was something that, you know, beforehand when we were writing the script was something that Emma and I played around with a lot was, you know, trying to find the balance. And I honestly think what I learned a lot from doing it is just you can write the script one way, you can shoot it, but it's going to change every time with every version. So there's moments that we wrote into the script that we were like, oh, it'll be a comedic moment. And then we got on set and we were like, let's just try different things because we just didn't know. So I was really grateful that all the actors were willing to kind of try different things. And some takes you'd be like, okay, let's lean into the drama, let's lean in the comedy. And then I was really grateful with Jesse for editing it where we did try different ways. And there were certain scenes that we wrote to be comedic that we filmed a bunch of versions of. Jesse edited it and it was a little bit more heartfelt. And we were like, that's the right tone. And I think it was just listening to and just kind of seeing what it would do to the story as a whole and figuring out what moments. And I think in the end, what we really just tried to stay true to was where's the heart of the story and let that guide the moment. So if anything didn't feel true to what the heart of the story that we were trying to tell was, we knew it wasn't the right fit and we leaned a little bit more one way or the other until it felt right. So
that sounds like an exciting set, actually. It's like an exciting process. So I give you kudos to that.
Thank you.
Emma and Laura, so I'm just curious, your performances are so real, so grounded. Did you use any real life experience, any memories or real life events to inform your characters, Emma?
Yeah, 100%. I mean, I've always been taught in acting classes that, you know, the best thing you can do for a character is to bring yourself to them. And it was very important to me to play this character with as much truth and honesty as I can and to create a character who people could see themselves in and relate to. And I feel that the only way to do that is by putting my own walls down and using what I know and what I know is true. And so every scene I was thinking, how do I relate to this? Where does this come from? And I think, you know, being a writer on it as well was super helpful for this process because even in the writing process, me and Callie both put a lot of ourselves into Charlie. So at the end of the day, for me, you know, it's just about being in the moment, responding honestly to whatever I'm getting from my scene partner, and then just letting the emotion come through in a vulnerable way.
That's awesome. I love hearing that. And I'm also curious, a follow-up question to that. Was there a lot of improvisation?
You know, it was we pretty much stuck to the script. I think, you know, there was a couple moments like Laura had, which you can talk about. Laura had a really great moment, and there was a lot of freedom to improvise with, like we talked about, the tone or the way lines were delivered or the physicality of a scene. But honestly, I mean, we kind of landed on a script that felt pretty natural. And for me as an actor, I mainly improv when I feel like there's something I want to add or something that doesn't feel right. And so it was a gift to have a script that felt very real and that felt right for me. But Laura, you can talk about your first moment, which was a really great moment of improv.
Laura, you're muted.
At the beginning, I have that sort of monologue, and I was finding it. I know I had a little bit of self-imposed pressure that it's like the first thing in the whole film, and I was like, it has to be great. And there's something about just starting at the top that like I needed a way into it, like I needed context or I needed like runway. So I think on the last take, I was like, Callie, I'm going to improv for like 5-10 seconds and just get myself into it and then get into the lines. Is that okay? And she was like, absolutely. We rolled on it. And then those couple of lines ended up being a part of the actual film because it was like a way for me to organically connect to the moment in a way that was like really helpful to me. And because it was helpful to me, it served the story really well. And Yeah, it was just a testament to, you know, the kind of atmosphere that Callie created, and Emma and everyone, of just being free to really explore.
And
Can I actually add to that too?
Oh, sure.
Sorry. I just like, as I was looking through dailies, and Laura, like, you know, obviously like I'm like watching really closely, like seeing kind of a way to kind of get into that. And I felt that too, like through like that was like the best way for kind of all of us in that line, just grounded the whole thing for me as well. Like, remember this for the rest of your life. Like, it's like, okay. And that kind of sets the stage for like this whole parent-child dynamic, right? Like, remember this for the rest of your life. Like, it kind of sets up the dominoes really nicely.
Oh, yeah.
So thank you for that, that improv.
Yeah, no, the opening of the film is Laura, you basically speaking to the camera, speaking to us, the audience, really, and you know, the young Charlie, and you definitely set the tone, and it's a great tone because right away you know it's serious but also funny, and again the true essence of a dramedy comes through in that scene. So brilliant, brilliant. Cassidy, so, you know, as producer, what were some challenge? I'm just curious about what some challenges that you faced, that you saw, and how did you manage to put out those fires, if any?
Yeah, I mean, I think on every production, it's impossible to not run into fires. Because you can plan as much as you want, but the day of, something is always going to come up. I think one of our biggest challenges that we premeditated as much as possible was just dealing with the delicate subject matter, especially with having like such a young girl on our set. We wanted to make sure that she was protected from the subject matter, and that in the intimacy scene that Emma and Ben both felt comfortable. So we actually brought on an intimacy coordinator, and she also was our child supervisor who like hung out with Laurel throughout the filming. And that was just an amazing way to make sure everybody felt ready and comfortable to give their best performances in these scenes.
Intimacy coordinator. I am not familiar with that profession, but it sounds involved and almost like an on-set psychiatrist or therapist.
So the intimacy coordinator, I'm sure Kelly can speak on this as well, but Danny, she was absolutely lovely and amazing. But she drew inspo from 3 or 4 different movie scenes and basically choreographed the scene where Emma and Ben are making out and presumably going to have sex. So all of that was choreographed beforehand. Every single move, every single moment of that was decided upon before we hit roll on the camera.
Yeah, and it looked very realistic, and it almost turned into softcore porn, but it was very tasteful. So I give all of you kudos again on that. So I'm just curious. I want to go all around, starting with you, Jesse. What do you hope audiences take away from this film? It's so good. It's so impactful. It's funny. It's dramatic. Jesse, what do you hope audiences take away from it?
Honestly, the response has been so amazing, and I feel like people have been taking away from it what I wanted to take away from it. Like the fact that you are able, like even you are saying like, yeah, it's got comedy and drama, and it's like, oh, that, you know, especially for me as an editor, you get so pigeonholed, right? Like this person can only cut drama, or this person can only cut comedy, and it's like, you know, it's really kind of also a testament to like this kind of new age of filmmaking where there's so much genre bending, and we're like, to heck with genres, and it's just kind of the best way to render the human experience. So I just like, I feel like everyone's been getting from it what I've wanted to get from it. Like just like coming into your own and connecting with the self, and really exploring the mother-daughter relationship. I think that's been the best thing. I think that's what I want people to get from it.
And you know what? I'll tell you, for me personally, dramedies are the way to go, because I've given up on superhero movies, you know, action blockbusters, any Fast and the Furious. The dramedy, that is what I focus on, because those are movies that tell the truth and reality, and it's about human beings. So, you know, all of you are involved with this film, and this is a true dramedy. So again, that's really awesome, and congratulations. So I should have asked this in the beginning, but how is everyone's Tribeca? Did you guys have a good time? Callie, you first.
Absolutely incredible. It was a dream. I think especially, as a filmmaker for years, like it's always been a dream to be able to share a film on a platform of that level. And I think for it to be this story in particular, a story that just felt so personal and so that we were so passionate about, to be able to have our world premiere at, Tribeca, where we could share with the world, and we had multiple screenings and we were just able to have this big celebration. And it was just something I can't even put into words. It was just a really incredible experience. All the people that we met, all the responses that we got, and everybody at Tribeca who believed in the project. It was just a very validating and rewarding feeling, I think, for everybody on our team.
That's so cool. Awesome. Emma, how about you? What was your experience like on the festival?
Yeah, I mean, basically just mirrors everything Callie said. It was really incredible. And I think we were all just really honored to be there amongst such incredible films and such, inspirational filmmakers. And I think it was just really cool to get to meet people who are also equally as passionate about their projects and what they're doing. And I even learned a lot just watching their films. And so it was really a gift that I will be grateful for forever.
It's again the collaboration, the film community, right? It's so
Yeah.
so great. So it's so big too, which is amazing. Laura and Emma, do you guys think you'll work again in the near future? Because you guys have awesome chemistry. I want to see more of that.
Oh,
I mean,
I hope so.
I would absolutely love that. Like I said, the working relationship, and I respect Emma so much as an actress. She just comes at it with her whole heart, and true professional, and just very rare. Like I felt like our chemistry on set was what it was because there was this vulnerability and openness and just availability and just really being in it and really having a strong drive to do our best work. And there's nothing better than that.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
I would love to see this turn into a feature. This question's for everybody. Is that a possibility? Is Dirty Towel, the motion picture, coming to theaters? Are we going to see that happen?
That is the hope. That is the hope. It is actually, since we wrapped the short film, Emma and I have been writing the feature film. We're a few drafts in, just trying to make it perfect. But that was always kind of our hope and our dream, was to be able to turn it into a feature. I feel like there's so much more to explore within the themes and within Charlie's story, but also with Elizabeth's story. We like scratched the surface of it in the short, but there's, I think a lot to be said there. And, while the short's kind of like a coming of age story for Charlie, the feature's kind of a coming of age story for both of them, which I think is something that hasn't really been seen yet. So fingers crossed. I would love to make it into a feature and see where it goes.
Yeah, it definitely feels like a Judd Apatow production here. It's got that same fun vibe. Yeah. So let's see. Let's
That's a
see.
call.
Yeah, let's make this happen, guys. I mean, come on.
I'm down.
Yes,
I
yes.
think that's a great idea.
So I just wanted to go around real quick. We have like a couple minutes. If there are any other projects you guys are currently working on, anything you can discuss, anything you want to plug, now is your time. I'll start with you, Cassidy.
I think mainly I'm still chugging along on working on the feature. So just
Nice.
would love for everybody to stay updated with Dirty Towel. We have social media, Dirty Towel Movie on mainly every platform. So that's the best way to keep up with us. And we have a website if you want to check it out. And always just, if you want to get in touch with us, feel free to DM any of us. We're all pretty responsive on socials and would love to chat.
Cool. Jesse, how about you? Any projects you can discuss?
No, not that I can discuss, but
Oh, okay.
I'm cutting away in my bedroom with my cat.
Fair
Things.
enough.
So, trying to make some festival deadlines for later in the year. We'll see. But yeah, no, just honestly, waiting for my drafts that I can read of Dirty Towel the feature. So.
Yes. Awesome. Laura, anything coming up?
Yes, I have a short film that I am starring in that's directed by Parker Croft, co-written by Aaron Golden and Parker Croft, and it's premiering at LA Shorts on July 19th, and it's called As Easy as Closing Your Eyes. And it's another aggrieved, tortured mother, kind of my sweet spot. But yeah, I'm really proud of one and excited to see it on the big screen at LA Shorts.
Awesome. Looking forward to seeing that. That should be good. Emma, how about you? Anything coming up?
Yeah, I have some stuff in the works. Mainly focused right now on Dirty Towel feature, but I did a feature film this past summer called The Short Game that'll be coming out sometime next year, so stay tuned for that. And then hopefully, yes, Dirty Towel feature.
And last but not least, Callie, anything other than Dirty Towel?
You know, I feel like right now it's my whole focus for the past year and continuing has been, you know, the short film and then moving on to the feature. But other than that, just, you know, writing more stuff. I would love to shoot stuff soon. Nothing currently set in stone right now. Like I said, as all of them can attest, as you can probably tell, my whole life is this film. So, you know, I'm excited right now a lot for just, you know, Tribeca was our world premiere of the short film. But we have quite a few festivals coming up and for the next year that we've submitted to. So I'm really looking forward also to just continuing connecting with people through that and, you know, seeing whatever happens. And yeah.
All right then. And Callie, I meant to ask this earlier, but so you know, you fresh off college, fresh off you know, your education, but your education it's still going. But what was it like just jumping into a film just out of college?
Yeah. It definitely was the hardest thing I've ever done, but in the same ways, the most rewarding thing I've ever done. You know, was the first film I had done completely independently of school, completely, you know, fundraised on our own, did everything on our own. I had just moved to LA a few months prior and, you know, was still meeting people. And I think ultimately something that I was just really passionate about was, you know, leaving school. I didn't want to, you know, you can say you want to be a director or writer, but actually doing it and following through is, I think a lot of people find it hard because it is, you have to kind of drive it yourself. And, you know, I just was lucky that Emma and I came up with this idea that we felt so passionately about. And I think what really helped me when making this was just finding a team that was going to be so supportive in doing it. And for a lot of us, it was, you know, our first independent film. And I think because everyone was so passionate about it, that's the only way it got done the way it did. And, you know, it was a big learning curve for everyone. But I think in the end, it really prepared us for, I think, what's to come in the future. And I'm really grateful for that.
And I'm grateful for all of you guys. And this was incredible. Congratulations on Dirty Towel. It's just wonderful. It's a really honest look at womanhood and the choices that you know you all make. And it really is an important film too. So I again, congratulations, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you for your kind words.
Yeah,
It
it
means
really
a lot.
means a lot.
Of course, and I mean it. So Callie, Laura, Emma, Cassidy, Jesse, thank you so much for your time today. This is great. Congratulations again on the film, and I hope to see it as a feature real soon.
Thank you.
Thank you.
This is
Andy.
amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm great.
Thank you so
you.
much.
Thank you.
Very welcome. So guys, I'm Randy Unger. This has been Under the Radar, bringing movies and people together, one frame at a time. We'll see you next time. Take care.